Hi, I'm Graciela Casillas, and I ride with Al Ray.
Boxing Hall of Fame in her home state.
She's the Trailblazer. She's the one that made it happen here.
Casillas says it all started with a self-defense class at her church in Oxnard.
This is something I could really be good at, and that's when I knew that I was going to continue doing this. And that was 40 plus years ago.
She became a world champion in 4 sports, including boxing and kickboxing, and was the first American, man or woman, to become a world champ in 2 separate sports at the same time. When she boxed in the 70s and 80s, she didn't get paid much.
Rights today, women are getting paid more. Today you can see that there's hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of women boxing all over the world. Whereas during the time that I was fighting, we could even train with women because there weren't any women to train with. If you trained with a woman, most likely you'd be fighting her next month.
The bantamweight champ still trains, sometimes with their daughter, at Future Fitness, and she keeps her favorite move up to snuff.
It is a straight right cross. And I set it up with a jab, and it's very narrow, it's not wide, and she's pretty hard to stop. Out of 31 combined fights, I had 18 knockouts, and they were all with my right.
The winner and still champion of the world, Graciela Casillas. Okay.
Graciela Casillas, a major pioneer in martial arts, being the first woman ever to have world titles in kickboxing and boxing. Her total combined boxing and kickboxing record is 38 fights with 36 wins, 20 knockouts, and 2 draws.
Men react strange when you tell them that you're a boxer. First of all, they don't believe it, and then they think you're sort of weird or something. They think you either have to be a lesbian or you're just really masculine to be a boxer. So usually I don't talk about it, not because I'm ashamed of what I'm doing or the art. I don't want to make the men feel uncomfortable.
Grace Casillas.
My name is Graciela Casillas. I'm from Oxnard, California. People seem to underestimate me. This is my first boxing match, but I have 10 pro kickboxing matches. And I, too, have never had to go more than 2 rounds.
20 and a half.
20 and a half.
So we'll see tonight which one makes the 2 rounds.
Before becoming a professional fighter, Graciela Casillas started at the age of 11 taking Taekwondo at her local church. Then, when classes were discontinued there, she started training in the Korean martial art Hwarangdo, and then finally American Kempo Karate, where she was introduced to kickboxing. It is in Kempo Karate where she would achieve a 3rd-degree black belt. She'd also get a 3rd-degree black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and then a 10th dan in Shin Judo.
Ma'am, sir, whatever. We call them. Oh, these girls, look at them mixing it. These girls have come to fight here. Indeed. Oh, nice kick. Another kick. Oh, a beautiful left jab. Almost knocks out the mouthpiece. Look at these girls, wasting no time. Round 1. You talk about a lot of heart. No, we're really not. I have a tremendous admiration. Well, that's the first time we've seen John. He steps in just for a moment, breaks it up. All right, get out of the way, John. Let's get this. Here we go. All right, John's out of the way. Get the fight going again. Remember, this was only the first round. Ooh. Both girls loading up. Tremendous athletes. Those hurt. Oh, look at those left jabs going. That's the world boxing champion. Ooh, knocks the mouthpiece out right at the end of the bell. Woo. Oh, I think the crowd went for that.
Here she is discussing women's self-defense
And
with
So,
Richard Norton.
Graciela, let me ask you. I believe that the idea of this book is not. It's there's so many books or instructionals out there that deal with the technical aspect, how to throw a punch or a palm heel. But I believe this is a lot more than that, right? It's more about the emotional state and everything.
Right. I think it's important that women understand that before you learn how to kick and punch or how to block a punch, it's important that you're prepared mentally and emotionally how to defend yourself. And so this book addresses that, more the psychological and the mental aspects of self-defense. Awareness and knowing what to look for and how. So you won't find pictures in this book. You won't find, step 1 through 5 on how to, how to defend yourself. It's more preparing you mentally and knowing what to look for. But having said that, it is important that if you do make that commitment, that you understand that it's not like taking an aerobics class or taking if you take a ballet class and you want to become proficient, you can't just go to one class. You have to make a commitment. And learning how to defend yourself is a physical skill also. So it's important that women make that commitment to train consistently.
She started her martial arts journey for boxing and kickboxing due to the famous Lily Rodriguez herself. One could say it would be a pioneer in women's martial arts. Lily Rodriguez, of course, is the famous sister to the famous Benny the Jet Urquidez. Lily Rodriguez was also married to full contact fighter Blinky Rodriguez.
Jab. Break up the timing. Don't be very mechanical. Go 1, 2, 1, and 2. So you break it up so that it doesn't become monotonous and they're expecting the punch. Let's try that. What I'm going to focus on right now is to move and not stay in the same position. Force the person to find you. In other words, if he jabs, you're staying right here. That's what you're doing right now. Okay? So now what I want you to do is from here, he jabs, circle, step, circle. Don't stay in one position. Try to circle out. Focusing on some disarms on angles 1 and 2. We will begin with the warm-up.
She also would learn eskrima from the great Danny Inosanto, who was Bruce Lee's teacher when it came to stick fighting and the nunchaka. As pictured here, he was in the movie The Game of Death, where he fights Bruce Lee in the pagoda in the famous nunchaka scene.
Said you want to hold at least 1 fist length up, have a firm grip on it, don't open the hand, and working the wrist.
To the counter, what I'm going to do is just a quick release from here. Okay, again, make contact instead of striking. 1, grab the weapon, small circle, create a fulcrum. Okay, if you do this efficiently, he should feel the jarring in his shoulder. Okay, last time. Okay, switch. It's just a quick release. Okay. Secondly, strikes again. Place and disarm. Okay, switch. Okay. Okay. And those are some basic disarms for an angle. Turn the hand here that you've pulled them slightly off balance and that use your hips, use body torque to disarm. Even though you're going against the thumb, which is a weak link, a strong person can still hold on to their weapon if you do not use your body. And it's important that you understand that my arm against his arm, he's much stronger. However, my body against his arm. So if in this position, I'm using my entire body, then it's effortless. Whereas if I'm only using my arm, it's going to depend on who is the strongest. Okay? So ways that you can disarm an angle 3. A strike that comes in the moving in, smothering, encircling, strike again, and disarm. Another way to deal with an angle 4 is that you can either...
She'd also be one of the first martial art proponents in the 90s to speak out that martial artists should not just focus on empty hand techniques or traditional martial art weapons, but also firearms equivalent as the modern samurai sword. Graciela is truly a pioneer in martial arts.